How many of you really want to pursue agriculture in your future? Be honest. Give the answer honestly, because I know the rate of yes here is going to be even less than 0.01%. My dear students, to make you feel the importance of agriculture, to make you understand how important are farmers in our society, the chapter is added in your academic curriculum. Welcome on the platform, Diksha Vedantu, and I am your SST faculty, Tanvi. The agenda for the day is to complete this fourth chapter of your geography book, that is agriculture. I know a lot of students are scared of this chapter because it have multiple facts and it is quite difficult to remember all of them, but today in this session we are going to make it easy and fun. I hope that you will be connected with me till the last of not the lecture, last of your board examination. Not only board examination, results too. Okay, so starting with the session, beta. The complete detailed one-shot chapter of resource and development, forest and wildlife, water resources already uploaded on the platform. Today is agriculture, and then in future the chapters will be coming. So as you know that, beta, we start the chapter in a manner. First we understand how we are going to study and what we are going to study in this chapter. So first of all, I will tell you what actually you are going to study in this chapter, right? So what to study, beta? What to study? In the starting of this chapter, they are telling you the brief about what agriculture is, right? So as we are aware, beta, this is a primary economic activity in which the activity is totally directly dependent upon the raw materials coming from natural resources like water for irrigation, soil for growing of crops, etc., etc. And we in India, India is an agriculture dominant nation. You know what dominant nation means, beta? The 75% of India's population depend upon which occupation? Agriculture. Because we have land as a profit, being a subtropical and tropical country. Okay? So this introduction will be there. Then beta, the chapter talks about types of agriculture practices in India, right? Types of what? Agricultural practices in India. Now, agriculture practices which have evolved over the period of time. Like we are not doing the same agriculture practice we used to do during the Stone Age, right? Neolithic age, or during the time Indus Valley civilization or Mahajanpads were there. So basically talks about the primitive type of agriculture, intensive type of agriculture, and then the commercial one. 3 in number there are. Along with that, beta, we have seen that there are different cropping patterns in India. Right? What do I mean by cropping patterns? You can see that there is a time when wheat is grown and is harvested. There is another time when rice is grown and harvested. Sugarcane, however, is grown for the entire year. So analyzing that, we figure out that, beta, as India is a monsoonal type of climate country, है ना बेटा, benefited by that monsoon, we have 3 cropping patterns in India. And what are they? Kharif, Rabi and Zaid. Don't worry about anything if you are not able to understand, because we are just discussing about what we have to study in this chapter. Right? The chapter will take you directly then to the major crops. Okay, major crops. Here there are basically the crops which are food crops like wheat, paddy, maize, millets, etc. Then we will deal about certain non-food crops like oil seeds we have. Right? There are a lot of oil seeds grown, and different oils are used in India for cooking purpose also and for multiple purposes too. Then we have beverage crops like tea and coffee. Right? We grow jute, which have multiple uses. Right? Then we have silk also, beta. Every detail of each of the crop will be given in this session, and you need not to worry how to mug them up. Okay? At last, beta, there are certain technological, right? There are certain technological and institutional reforms. Basically, these reforms are done by the government to improve the condition of agriculture in India or to make it profitable. Now coming towards how to study without wasting much of your time. How we are going to study. Acha, why do I tell this how to study? Because I know I know there are a lot of times when you are lying on your bed, just watching the video and nothing is going in your mind. You're thinking that revision ho raha hai. No, this is not the way, beta. I want you to sit on the study table, take your NCERT, your pen, paper along with you, as well as a blank copy where you will be making notes along with me. Because when I am giving you the proper PDF, you should be responsible of making quick notes from here, because I am making you sure, beta, nothing is going to come out from here. Everything straight from NCERT is taken in this particular slides. Okay, so starting with how to study, first of all, the task is to complete your NCERT. When I am teaching a topic, beta, I suggest you that once the topic is explained by me, please pause the video and read the line, every line from that topic of your NCERT. This is the way we should learn. The second thing in this video itself is, I'm going to tell you how you should make notes from here. Third is, beta, lot of MCQs are added by me. They are even PYQs. They are competency based type of questions that can come in your exam for your practice. So it is not just theory we are mugging up here. It's theory, MCQs, PYQs, and one more very important thing, that is homework questions, right? Now, if you're thinking that, ma'am, how you're going to come and check a homework, but I am not going to come and check. But you should be honest, right? If you work, it is going to be profitable for you. So, homework questions, I don't suggest you to do it once at all. 3 questions a day, 2 questions a day, 5 questions a day, whatever lies in your capacity will be best. Okay, let's start. I scared you a lot. By the way, even I will be providing you these handmade notes, right? And I will tell you in the between of the session that how to access it, how to download it for free. So, when the chapter agriculture, the heading itself tells us that, beta, see, India's economy is beta, almost dependent upon agriculture sector. So when we were reading the chapter development, we figure out that. Why we figure out that now the trend, not development, sectors of Indian economy, we figure out that in 1970, it was 70% of population dependent on agriculture sector, primary sector for income. But you know that this sector, right, even though the GDP has been declined, but this sector still is the sector where there is dominant, like in terms of what, beta, employment, right? 70% of Indian people are still employed in which sector? That is agriculture, because everyone in the rural areas, everyone on the rural areas relies on which activity? Agriculture. You know, agriculture is considered as backbone of Indian economy. Why? Because, beta, if 70% people are working on that particular sector, they will get the payment from that sector only. Right? The capacity of theirs to buy any product is totally dependent upon agriculture only, and it is said that, beta, 2/3 of its population is engaged in agriculture activities. 2/3 of its population is dependent upon what, beta? Agriculture activities. Right? If we talk about agriculture, when was it first done in India? You know that it was 7000 BCE. Yeah, sometimes when we are reading something, let's connect it with the history also. So it was around 7000 BCE when we find the evidence of agriculture practice in Indian subcontinent, and that site is known as Mehergarh, now in Pakistan. It was the first time when human learned how to grow crops. And now you might be thinking, ma'am, kyun? Why they find how to grow crops? Mast zindagi thi. We were just hunting, gathering, wandering from here and there, and now suddenly this evolution made us more responsible. Everyone is fighting for growth, etc., etc. But you know that somewhere everyone have that one dream. Even I have that too. And what is that? In the last days of life, when you like earned a lot, get settled in a village, having a farm, growing crops there, and just chilling out. So I hope that you all also have the same one. Okay, by the way, so beta, as I was telling you that it was a long time when humans learned about agriculture, but for obvious reasons, the way we are doing agriculture now, the technological accessibility as well as the development we have now was not there in the previous time. First is that. One more thing, when you were in class 8, now you learned one topic, that is USA agriculture distinguished with India's agriculture, and you got to know beta by India's it is labor intensive, however there it is capital intensive. Why? With the help of drones. You know that with the help of drones they are spreading the seeds and fertilizers around the land. So yes, there is lot of differences, and this difference come over the period of time. Earliest form of agriculture was primitive subsistence farming. What it is beta? Primitive subsistence farming. Pay attention now. Now your topic, important topics are coming. Okay, I think black pen is not that visible na. Let's use which one here? Let's use this one. Okay, so when I talk about this word, that is subsistence. What it is beta? Subsistence, right? Here it is two words. The first type of farming is primitive subsistence farming. Now primitive here means age old, old way. However, subsistence means beta to fulfill, right? What? To fulfill their own needs, for themselves only, not for the purpose of selling it somewhere, earning profit it somewhere. So beta, this is basically practiced in small patches of land. This is practiced where? In small patches of land, and that too with primitive tools. What do you mean by primitive tools here? Old type of tools. Like if you go to the villages and see the small patches of land where their technology is not there, they can't even afford it. Still, they use hoe, dhow and digging sticks basically to plow the land, to mix the soil, so that nutrients get mixed equally, and further after this they can grow the crops. So again, come back here. What is primitive subsistence farming? It is done in small patch of land with the help of primitive tools. First point done. The second point is beta, this type of farming is totally dependent upon monsoon, because if, right, see, to grow the crops, to do the agriculture, irrigation should be there, right? If we go back at the time, some around 1000 years, chalo 1000 years back then, the situation was very good. 2500 years back, do you think that there were certain big dams? No. Wells? No. Wells were there, tube wells were not there. The facilities like the water is directly coming with the help of pipes to the farmland? No. And hence the people were totally dependent upon natural, what we can say, natural irrigation, that is monsoon. And even they were dependent upon natural fertility of soil. Now what is this? Beta, the soil. Right? Soil itself naturally has the ability to grow the crops. Why? Because it contains fertility. What do you mean by fertility, beta? The soil when mixed with humus, the soil when mixed with fossils, right? It brings fertility. That means it contains all the nutrients which are required for the growth of crops. So beta, that process goes on naturally, like ammonia fixation, all that we have studied in what beta? Science. So that process goes on naturally, but you know that every natural process needs time and space. Like if you are for the entire year regularly growing crops in the field, will the soil get time to regain the fertility? No. And hence you know that we have one example of age-old practice in India, that is slash and burn agriculture. Again, I know in class 8th, right, you mugged up this definition. So what is this slash and burn agriculture, which is also known as beta shifting agriculture? Right, shifting agriculture, which is practiced differently in different parts of India, not only in India, in majority of Southeast Asian states also. right? When we talk about this beta, slash and burn. Slash means cutting, burning you guys know. So by what happened na, during the previous times, what happened beta? The people used to clear the patches of land where forest was grown. Right? After clearing that, they used to grow crops over there. Once the soil loses its fertility, now they don't have fertilizers, they don't have insecticides, etc., etc. But now the soil loses the fertility. Will they able to grow the crops over there again? No. So what they do, they basically burn the remaining nodules, right? And move to another place. Slash and burn. After the soil get mixed and then regain its fertility, after a period of time, they can come back and grow the crops here. So this is known as shifting cultivation, moving from one place to another for the growth of crops. And this is the example of what beta? Primitive subsistence farming. And if you are thinking, ma'am, does the question comes from this topic? Yes. Consider here the 3-marker question beta. Whenever I am telling you a question, what you have to do is, think about it. What you have to do is, in your book, along that margins, right? Along that margins, write the question, what are the features of primitive subsistence farming? How many marks? 3 marks. 3 points here it is. Good to go? Great. Next is about intensive subsistence farming. Why something became intense here? And what is that? You know what is that? Population. By day, population was increasing, but the land was not, right? Have you ever heard that the land of India is increasing like population is increasing? No, bhai. Population is increasing tremendously, but the land remains constant. Now, what do you think, beta? The land over which 100 people were living, now 1000 are living. So that land now need to produce the crops to feed the stomach of those 1000 people. How the land will do? Now, for that beta, it is practiced in areas of high population pressure on the land. On the same land, the pressure is increased. As the pressure is increased, the method needs to be changed. The method also needs to be changed, because now if we wait for the natural cycle to make it fertile, to regain its fertility, the population will die because of famine, and hence beta here more labor are required. This is type of farming in which more labor is required, and it do not depends upon the natural factors, rather high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation is used. But pay attention, high uses of what beta? Biochemical inputs. Right? I know that it is intensive, but one word is also here, that is subsistence. Now also the people here growing crops only to feed their stomach, not with an objective to sell it in the market and get the profit. Okay? So here, my dear students, it is yes, labor intensive type of farming, where the use of biochemical inputs and irrigation is done. Right of inheritance lead to the division of labor, and this is the biggest problem in India. What is that problem? So consider that this is the land of 1 acre only, right, of a farmer. Now this farmer have how many sons beta? 4 sons, right? But it was quite easy to buy the land at that time, but now do you think that the people can buy land? No. So this farmer bought the land 1 crore with very low amount now, but it is difficult, and hence because he have 4 sons, need to divide this land into how many parts? 4 parts. All those 4 sons will have the family, and do you know that the same land, right, on the same land, population pressure or the burden is increasing day by day. And hence beta, we need to use certain methods to maximize the yield. Maximize the yield, that means the output of the crops, right? Output of the crops. Understanding or not? Okay? This is how the right of inheritance lead to the division of lands. So we did 2 types of farming, primitive, intensive. A separate question for what are the features of intensive farming can come. Along with that, the question can be, write the difference between primitive subsistence as well as intensive subsistence type of farming. Moving towards the next one, that is commercial farming. By commercial, word itself clears us that this is something to earn profit, to earn paisa. So when we talk about this, by to earn money, what do we want? Maximum production. That means maximum yield. And how we will get that? By using high doses of modern inputs. And what are they? HYV seeds. High yielding variety of seeds, chemical fertilizers and pesticides as well. Right? Getting my point? The objective of this commercial farming is to beta earn profit, like commercial farming done for tea, commercial farming done for coffee, right? Acha, one more thing that I want to tell you about, commercialization varies from one region to another. And what is that? See, beta, rice. Rice is particularly grown in the region where ample of rainfall is there. Okay? In India, majorly rice is grown in West Bengal, Odisha, then parts of Northeast India where rainfall is there, and also it is coastal region. Okay? Beta, what happens now? But the rice there is grown for subsistence, because people growing crop rice there even consume rice also. So the what we can say percentage of growing as well as consumption, like production and consumption, is equal there. But let's move towards where? Punjab and Haryana. So in West Bengal, that paddy is a subsistence crop, but when we move to Punjab and Haryana, beta, they are growing paddy as a part of green revolution. Right? They are growing a lot of paddy, but here it is not only for subsistence, it is for commercial purpose also. So the crop that is subsistence crop in West Bengal becomes commercial crops in Punjab. Getting my point? This is how the statement says the degree of commercialization varies from one region to another. From one region to another. Okay, so again, my dear students, what we learned up till now, there are three types of farming. Primitive subsistence. Subsistence means for self-consumption. Primitive matlab old method. Intensive means something is intense here. And what is that? The population. Coming towards the third one, that is commercial farming. The name itself says to earn profit. How do we earn profit? By using modern inputs. And what are those? HYV seeds, right? So chemical fertilizers and pesticides, and now you know that what was in my mind during that. I just took a pause so that I don't use the wrong word over here. Now beta, will I leave you without practicing the questions from this topic? Not at all. Let's start with the question from this topic, and the first one is, choose the correctly matched pair. Right? Primitive subsistence farming practiced on large patches of land? No. They are practiced on beta small patches of land. Okay? Intensive subsistence farming, single crop production farming. Now, single crop, ma'am, is it? Nahi bhai. It is not single crop. Multiple crops can be grown there. Commercial farming, use of high doses of modern inputs. Yes, very much correct. Let's read the fourth one too. Plantation farming, practiced on small patches of land. Nahi bhai, large lands are used for commercial plantation, like tea gardens, coffee gardens, etc. So here the correct answer to this question is C. Acha, where? By the way, beta, here one word came that we did not discuss in the last slide, that is plantation farming. Now, what is this plantation farming? Beta, plantation farming is an example of commercial farming. Okay? It is example of what? Commercial farming. However, in the plantation farming, only single crop is grown. What happens here? Only and only single crop is grown. Like, for example, as I just told you, tea gardens in Assam, right? Coffee gardens in Karnataka. What is happening over there? They are grown for commercial purpose, but in that farm, only single crop is grown, and hence it is plantation farming. Right? If question comes that, is plantation farming a type of commercial farming? You have to say yes. Okay? Clear with this? Very good. Primitive subsistence agriculture is practiced on small patches of land. Can you please see that whenever a keyword comes, I underline it, so that when I need to analyze what answer is, I can pick that underline word and quickly do that. Okay, so learn this. Whenever you're watching a video, you're watching a teacher, please analyze the habit of that teacher also. This is the advice from my side. So what is the primary characteristics of primitive subsistence farming? Primary characteristics of primitive subsistence farming. Use of high yielding variety seeds, nahi bhai, this is in where? Commercial farming. Reliance on primitive tools and family community labor. Yes, this one is correct. Primitive tools like dough, right? Then digging stills, hoe, etc. Take intensive use of biochemicals, nahi. Adoption of commercial agriculture practices, nope, right? So which is the correct answer, beta? B is the correct answer in this question. Next one, how many questions are there? A lot of questions are there, so that my students go loaded with this chapter's theory as well as the practice questions too. Next, which of the following best defines plantation farming? Okay, great. Farming practiced on small family-owned plots? No, this is primitive subsistence. Growing multiple crops on a small piece of land? Nope. Right, here it is plantation. Cultivating a single crop over extensive land area? Yes. Single crop over extensive land area. Very good. Growing crops using organic methods only? No. Beta, whenever the question comes, and if you know that by the second option is correct, third option is correct, my suggestion is not to skip reading all the options. Even if you are sure that by third option is correct, please read the fourth one. Here is where we make the mistake. Okay, next question. Next question is, Raju is a mason in Pune who travels to his home village, Punavadi, during monsoon for farming, right? He farms in Punavadi till November end and resume masonry in Pune for the rest of the months. Which type of farming is he most likely to involved in? Is it intensive subsistence farming, commercial gain farming, plantation farming, or it is just mixed farming? He farms in Punavadi till November end and resumes masonry in Pune for the rest of the, which type of farming is this? So beta, it is intensive subsistence farming. It is what? Intensive subsistence, because now, right, if primitive might be there now, because they are not telling you that with the use of old type of tools or implements, it is intensive, by the way. You might have seen lot of people doing this. I don't know where you guys live, but analyze it around you. When a carpenter comes at your home doing the furniture work, when a mason comes at your home doing the building works, or anyone, talk to them and you will figure out their roots belong to some villages, and they often go to village during the time of sowing of crops and harvesting till date today. Okay, obviously they have to go. Chalo. Mrs. Monica along with her family clears a piece of land and grow grains and other food crops to feed her family. Okay? When the soil's fertility decreases, she prepares another piece of land for agriculture. Which of the following method of agriculture is she using? Very, very easy. That is B. Slash and burn farming. That's what, bacha, slash and burn farming. Come on, moving to the next one. Okay, so question time over. Moving to next important topic of the chapter. So before moving to the cropping pattern, let me tell you, India is a what? Monsoonal type of climate wala country. How we are monsoonal type of climate, beta? Because see, the half part of India lies in the tropical region. If you go and see the globe, okay? If you go and see the globe, in between equator passes, there is Tropic of Cancer, then we have Arctic Circle, Tropic of Capricorn, and Antarctic Circle too. Okay? India lies somewhere here, and the region from Tropic of Cancer to Capricorn is known as beta tropical region, and hence the southern part of India lies in tropical part and the above one lies in subtropical part. But being a tropical right? Being a tropical and subtropical country, what difference do we make, beta? We make a difference that being the tropical and subtropical country, we have a unique monsoonal type of climate system, right? We have a unique what? Monsoonal type of climate system. Beta, we have 4 seasons, right? We have 4 seasons like summer, okay? We have winter, then we have monsoon season, right? And we do have beta post monsoon season also. Post monsoon season, that means winter monsoon season too. So if you look at this structure, beta, what do the crops need? There are a lot of crops that need sunshine during the time of ripening. There are crops which need rainfall during the time of growing, right? They want a lot of rainfall for growth. So all the conditions are provided by India. And this is how we have different types of cropping patterns in India. Start with the very first, that is Kharif, right? Kharif type of farming, okay? Or Kharif season. Now what is Kharif season, beta? See, this becomes difficult, but what you have to do is make the chart. Okay, this making the chart method actually helps us a lot. Like the first season is Kharif season. What is that? When the crops are grown in the onset of monsoon, right? Onset of monsoon. So the major part of India start getting monsoon in the month of June and then majorly in July. Okay? And here the crop started to be growing, what, beta? In the same month, in the month of June. June, July, August, right? And they get harvested in the month of September and October. By the way, which crops are those? So by the crops which require high rainfall, that means high water for irrigation. Paddy, bhai, have you seen in the movies there are farms that are fed with water till the knees of the farmers? They are the farms where paddy and jute is particularly grown. ठीक है, paddy and jute. So along with paddy, beta, it is maize, jowar, bajra, tur, that means that's a tur dal, cotton, groundnut, soybean, etc. Cotton, groundnut, soybean, etc. ठीक है. Now, bhai ma'am, how to revise that? Beta, you have to analyze it, right? If you are thinking that I will just mug up, read it again and again and again and again, you will mix up the crops in the exam. You have to analyze it in your neighborhood, that by which crop is grown when. Okay? By the way, we don't have that much time for now. It's paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, cotton, groundnut and soybean. All the major crops are listed here from where the chances of getting the question is higher. Next is about the Rabi crop. Okay? By the way, let me tell you how I remember Kharif. I don't know. Don't do this because it mixes with Rabi. But what I do? K for Kharif. Then added a line. And here it starts in rainy season. It starts in what, beta? Rainy season. Chalo. Next, let's move to Rabi. Which fasal? Which crop? Rabi crops. But these types of crops are grown in winter. You know how do I remember that? See, Rabi have more letters and Kharif have more letters and Rabi have small letters, less letters. You know that during the time winters come, we get shrink. And hence, here Rabi crop is grown in winter from October to December and harvested from April to June. Analyze that by major festivals, harvest festivals of India like Baisakhi and many more are celebrated during this time from April to June. Why? Because Rabi crop is harvested at that time. So sown in winter, because we shrink, Rabi too shrinks, and here we get harvested in the month of April and June. Connect it with the local festival you celebrate at the time of harvesting. Come on, let's talk about the crops, that is wheat, barley. My wheat and barley are very, very good best friends. WB. Right? So WB, our best friends, cannot be separated from each other, and hence is the example of what? Rabi. Wheat and barley, then peas and gram and mustard. peas, gram and mustard. Don't you feel that peas and grams look alike? They are also siblings. So hence wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard are the crops grown in Rabi season. Coming towards the third one, Zed. Now analyze beta, analyze. See, during the time rainy season like June is there, from June to October what is grown beta? Kharif crop is grown. From October to April, okay, what is grown by? From October to April grown is Rabi. What about the time between this April and June? Beta, from this time between April to June, right, third type of crop is grown, that is Zad crop. That is what? Zad crop, right? This is the time of the summer days and hence we actually require this type of products in the market, and that is what? Muskmelon, watermelon, cucumber, fodder crops, etc. So yes, it is a short season between Rabi and Kharif. Between what? Rabi and Kharif during the summer seasons, and hence the crops are like that. What are the crops beta? Muskmelon, cucumber, watermelon, whatever we enjoy eating in summer is a Zad crop. Okay? Again, let us revise. How many cropping patterns are there in India? 3. Kharif, Rabi, Zad. Kharif, rainy season, harvesting, October. Rabi shrinks in winter and gets harvested in April. Okay? Shrinks in winter and get harvested in April. So, examples of Kharif is paddy, maize, jowar, tur, etc. When I talk about Rabi, wheat, barley, the best friends, peas and groundnut, not groundnut, sorry, peas and grams that looks alike, and then the mustard one. Acha, by the way, groundnut is the example of which type of cropping pattern? Tell me in the comment section. And the next and the last one is Zad, having the example cucumber, watermelon, muskmelon, etc. Okay, let's move to the question time because we did a topic. Watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables and fodder crops are the types of what? Zad crop. Is it? Kharif crop, Rabi crop, none of these. Very easy. Why it is easy? Because we just completed this topic. Okay? Why it is easy? Because we just completed the topic and here it is beta, Zad crop as a correct answer. By the way, I wish that we will do a live for this chapter and I will add more and more questions. Let me see that after learning from me you guys remember anything or everything is going skyrocket from your mind. Chalo. Okay. Just one question, yeah? Yes. Major crops. Now the chapter begins. The real chapter begins from where we get scared. But the chapter includes some of the major crops of India. What are those? First, we will learn about food grains. First, we will learn about what, my dear students? Food grains. Like wheat. Yes, it is a food grain. Then we will learn about barley. Okay. Then we will learn about millets. Take then pulses, right? Okay. So the first topic is in this major crops of India to learn food grains of India. Next it by food crops other than grains. They are not grains, but they are food crops. Like, do you feel that beta that sugarcane is what we can say sugarcane is a grain? No. Okay? Do you feel oil seeds is a grain? No, but it is grown. Here is the example. Okay? Then we will talk about non-food crops. Acha, in this only we have beverage crops also. We have what beta? Beverage crops also, like it is tea. Tick. Then there is coffee. It comes under non-food crops too. Now, it comes under food crops, but that is not grains. Now coming towards non-food crops, like we know about cotton. Okay? We know about what? Cotton. Then we know about hemp. Okay? Then it is silk also here in the list and many more. Last but not the least, that is horticulture. What is horticulture, by the way? Beta, the horticulture type of crops are like fruits and flowers. Fruits and flowers. Right? Beta, this is one of the largest market of India. You know that? Don't take it lightly. In every city, right? Every city you will see a place where flowers are being sold, right? You know that, and that is one of the biggest market of India actually running. So what you have to study as major crops? Food grains, but they are not grains. Food crops, but they are not grains. Non-food crops, and then the horticulture crops too. Okay. Let us start with the very first type of crop that we have to learn in the list of grains. And you know that is what, beta? Rice. Why rice? You know that rice is the staple food crop of India. I have seen lot of people who just say that bhai bina chawal ke khana pura nahi hota, isn't it? Everyone says that if we don't eat rice na, we don't feel like full. It happens. You know that I do not belong to a family where eating rice is actually a daily habit. Rather, we in a week eat rice. So when I shifted to my hostel, okay, when I shifted to my hostel, I was seeing girls eating a lot of rice, first of all. By the way, I'm not judging it. Then I understand, I talk to them and I figure out that they belong to the coastal belt, particularly where rice is actually the staple food. Okay, then I thought to analyze it more and understand more. Beta, you know, rice is the staple food crop of India, and the big thing is India is the second largest producer of rice after China. Okay, so first is rice is what? The staple food of India. India is second largest producer of rice in after China. Acha, one difficulty that is faced by every student is to learn this fact that in the list we are which producer. Beta, in this particular book, majority of chapters you will find that India is second largest producer after what? China. Second largest producer after what? China. But it doesn't mean that we will write the same line in everything. But yeah, for that now you can make a list that India is not the second largest producer in which field. Okay, so yes, India is second largest producer in terms of rice after China. Yes, rice is a kharif crop. Rice is what, beta? Kharif crop. Acha, one thing before telling you about the crops, let me tell you one thing, right? What is that? Like we did in the soil also, we pre-decided that what are the points we have to write. Okay, so whenever we write about a crop, we will write an intro first. And what is the intro for the rice? That beta, it is the staple food of India, staple crop of India, and India is the second largest producer of the rice in the world after China. Okay, the intro includes two different points. Then we will write about the type of crop it is, right? The type of crop it is, like it is a Rabi crop, Kharif crop, or a Zaid crop. 2 points done. Then we will write about beta the climatic conditions, right? Climatic conditions that are required particularly to grow that crop. I will tell you about the rice, then you will understand that how to differentiate it with the other ones. Then we have one more thing, areas, the major areas where this type of crop is grown, and we will end with any of the feature if given in the book. Okay? So this is how a 5 points can be created for any of the crop. See, when we are learning in a way that is different from everyone, make a strategy that is different from everyone, and here it is. When you pre-decide that I have to write these points now, when you will be writing answer, the speed will definitely increase. When you will be learning the answer, you know that by these are the important points that I have to learn and move away. Getting my point? So come back to the rice. It is staple food crop of India. Intro done. Second largest producer of rice India is after China. Intro done. Yes, it is a kharif crop, right? Beta, because it is a kharif crop, it is grown in the climatic conditions where the temperature is quite high. Right? By high I mean 25 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees Celsius, high humidity, high rainfall is also required. So see, whenever in an area there is high what temperature, okay? Because of high temperature, high evaporation will be there, Evaporation leads to high humidity, that means number of water vapors in the atmosphere, which eventually will leads to high rainfall. But how much rainfall? That is 100 centimeter. Right? Remember it likewise, 25 temperature into 4 becomes what? 100 rainfall. ठीक है, 25 temperature into 4 becomes what beta? 100 rainfall. So temperature requirement 25 degrees Celsius, rainfall 100 centimeter. If you are thinking, remembering number is different, no other option we have, because the question comes a lot of time directly. How much rainfall is required for the growth of rice? How much temperature is required for the growth of rice? And here it is. Okay? The next is the areas grown in the plains of north and northeastern India majorly. Yes, in the plains of north and northeastern regions of India. Okay? Due to canal development and irrigation facilities, it is grown in areas of Punjab, Haryana and western UP. However, here rice is particularly treated as a commercial crop and not a subsistence crop, which is in northeastern and West Bengal majorly. Getting my point? Because of the part of green revolution beta, the growth of rice increased a lot in Punjab, Haryana, western UP. And how was it possible? Because of the development of dams. Dams on the tributaries of river Indus like Jhelum, Chena, Bravi, Byas, Satluj. Right? You have learned about it already in water resource wala chapter, Bhakra Nangal Dam, right? A lot of dams over there. Get it? Clear? Chalo. Done with this one? Very good. Okay. Do you want me to revise? You will not answer, but I will. Rice is staple food of India. Second largest producer India is how much temperature? High temperature, that is 25 degrees Celsius, high humidity and high rainfall. How much rainfall? 100 centimeters. Is it a kharif crop? By 100 centimeter rainfall obviously makes it a kharif crop. Okay, area grown north and northwestern India, and because of the development of canal, dams and irrigation facilities, you know that it's grown in Punjab, Haryana and western UP also. You know that, by the way, it's heavily raining outside right now and there might be a chance that you get disturbed with the sound of the rain, but it is not a disturbing sound. Let's enjoy that sound. Okay, coming to the question added related to rice, read the following information and identify the crop. See, yes, why I'm adding the questions? Because you can understand why this is the type of question that comes. Okay? The framework of the question, statement based. First, it is the staple food of majority of people in India. Now, by this statement, you can get confused between paddy as well as wheat, because wheat is also a staple food, one of the staple food. Let's move. India is second largest producer of this crop. Now, this do not clear anything because there are a lot of crops in which we are second largest producer. But again, now it is a kharif crop. By wheat is a rabi crop and hence it is out of the list. Next is, it requires high humidity with 100 centimeter of annual rainfall, which clearly makes us understand that the the correct answer is rice. What is the correct answer for this question? D. And you know that this is the question picked from CBSE 2024 question paper. Move. Okay, to the next crop. What is that? That is wheat. Okay? That is wheat. You know that I belong to a district from where that Ashirwad atta comes and get distributed to different parts of India. Okay? Figure out which place is that. That's my hometown. We people don't live there anymore. But yes, that's the hometown. So anyone when tells me that we eat Ashirwad atta, and I will be like, you know that comes from my hometown. So that is a place where majorly wheat is grown and a good quality of wheat is grown. Okay, so it is second most important cereal crop. Acha, why it is second most important? Beta, after rice. So yes, wheat is second most important. There might be chance you are thinking that, ma'am, wheat is the first most important. Majority of people eat wheat. But in northern India, wheat is the majority crop. But you know that from central India, it becomes a habit that along with wheat, rice is required. When you move beyond like South India, coastal regions, Northeast India, rice is the main one. And hence, when we analyze area-wise, the majority of the people like rice over wheat. So yes, it is second most important cereal crop, and yes, it is a rabi crop grown in winter. When it is grown, beta, winter. As in winter we shrinks, rabi shrinks. So yes, it is grown in winter and it is harvested in the month of April. When wheat get harvested in Punjab, the celebrations of Baisakhi starts there. Okay, and in major part of India, the Sankranti is celebrated during that time only. So yes, it requires cool growing season, very obvious. We sow wheat in the month of winter. So what is the requirement, condition required? Beta, what? Cool growing season. What is required? Cool growing season and bright sunshine at the time of ripening. March, April, May is the month where there is bright sunshine, and hence it is what, beta? The time of ripening of the wheat. Okay? Yes, it is a rabi crop. Conditions are here, introduction is there. You know then how much rainfall is required? 50 to 75 centimeter of rainfall is required. By the way, moderate temperature, moderate humidity, and the rainfall of about 50 to 75 centimeter is required for the growth of what? Wheat. Yes, exactly half of that of paddy, by the way. Okay, chalo. There are two important wheat growing seasons. Ganga Satluj plain in northwest regions. Acha, seasons nahi, regions. Okay, it is regions. So there are two important wheat growing regions. One is Ganga Satluj plain. So here they are talking about northern part of India. By this I mean Punjab, Haryana, parts of Uttarakhand. Then we can completely take Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. Okay, Ganga region pura. In western black soil region in Deccan. However, in the Deccan part of India, in black soil also wheat is grown. In black soil also what wheat is grown. Don't ever think that in black soil only cotton is grown, but along with cotton there are other crops too, like sugarcane is also grown there. Wheat is also an example. Remember this. So, will you remember this 5 points? Because this 5 points again, beta, 5 marks. Okay. One question that majorly comes are, write in detail about the two major crops of India. Write it in your book. Right? Write in detail about the two major crops of India and what are they? Wheat and rice. What are they? By wheat and rice. So two major crops of India are wheat and rice. Done? Understood? Very good. Okay, so do we have a question related to this? Obviously. Imagine you are traveling from Delhi to Chandigarh. Okay? Just imagine. So imagine you are traveling from Delhi to Chandigarh to attend a wedding by road in January. Which of the following crop will you notice prominently in the fields during the journey? Asked in 2025. But if you still believe class 10th is easy, questions will come directly. You need to think again, because this is how the questions don't come straight. The jalebi questions are asked. So in the month of January, so obviously beta, in winter, in the starting of the months like October, November, what might be grown here are major regions of North India. Wheat is grown here. So when you will travel, you will see the fields of wheat on your way. Okay? Next important crop is millets. Yeah, you know that India is a country, right? India is a country which have very great ancient habits. Like if we look at the people before this, like we totally depend on junk foods like pizza and lot of rolls, and basically we are totally dependent on maida, right? Everyone tells us that don't eat this, we made it as a habit. But you know that when we look back at the ancient practices and habits, India is a country which majorly dependent upon millets. Like बाजरे की रोटी, मक्के का साग, हाँ मक्के की रोटी और सरसों का साग, sorry, ठीक है. So yes, see, if we talk about makka particularly corn, ठीक है. If we talk about bajra, jowar, ragi, those millets are known as what beta? Those grains are known as what beta? Millets. Now, can you see the clear difference between those millets and the previous grains we studied, like wheat and barley? These are coarse grain, a little big in size, a little bit large in size. Okay? The best feature of this millet is they are highly nutritious, right? Talk to people who are just thinking about doing kiting and all, and for some days they will make a habit of eating ragi roti, right? Bajra. However, in South India, I have found the major difference among North India and South India food habit is that majorly in South India, the food is made keeping in mind the nutritious value also, right? Nutritious value also. So yes, the use of ragi is very prominent here in South India, and I really felt fascinated by seeing like sambars when made. So all the type of vegetables are there. So they are actually like it's a culture thinking about the nutritious value. Coming back to the millets, bhai. So what are millets? Coarser grains like jowar, bajra, ragi are the important millets that are grown in India. Again, jowar, bajra, ragi are the important millets that are grown where bacha in India. Okay? Why they are important? Because of the very high nutritious value. Because of what, beta? Very high nutritious value of them. So for example, ragi is very rich in what, beta? Iron, calcium and micronutrients and roughage. But you go to gym and they will ask you to eat something that have micronutrients, they are high in protein, high in calcium, they have roughage. All those comes from what? Comes from millets, right? We will talk about the major ones like jowar. Okay? Jowar is third most important food crop area in terms of, third most important food crops in terms of area and production. Acha, third after what? Wheat and rice. Okay? So it is third most important food crop area. Food crop in terms of area and production. Yes, it is rain-fed crop. That means it requires high rainfall, or it is grown in the area which is moist basically. ठीक है, like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Then we have one more, that is Bajra. Bajra, one song came into my mind, that is Bajre Dasita. Okay, so being a Punjabi, I can sing that. So Bajra grows well on sandy soil. See, there is a big difference between jowar and bajra. By jowar grows in moist area, bajra can grow in arid areas like sandy soil and shallow black soil also. So think about it, where this type of soil is found, because we already learned that. It is majorly found in Rajasthan, parts of Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana. Okay? Then we have one more thing, that is ragi, right? By ragi is a type of crop grown in dry regions, grow well on red, black and sandy soil. Again, Rajasthan will be catered here. Loamy and shallow black soil. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Jharkhand, Arunachal Pradesh, Rajasthan are those regions where ragi is grown. Okay? So what are millets? Coarse grains like jowar, bajra, ragi. Why are they important? Because they have high nutritious value and you should also add it in your diets. Ragi is very rich in calcium, other micronutrients and roughage. Jowar becomes the third important crop in terms of area and production, grown in moist areas. Now think about the moist areas: Karnataka, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh too. Bajra and ragi can be grown in semi-arid areas like sandy soil, black shallow soil, etc. The areas where bajra is grown, in Rajasthan, bajre ki roti is eaten, like they eat a lot. Rajasthan, UP, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana. Okay? Then comes ragi. I'll share you one thing. Alright, I will share you one thing today, and that is about a community. My community basically. It's nothing to be like sharing and propagating about anything, but you know about people who migrated from during the time of partition from the larger parts of India. right? Larger parts of India, which is now not the parts of India right now. Like the people coming from the region of Sindh came to be known as Sindhis. So we were the people who came from the region Multan, came to be popularly known as Multanis, right? However, they are not so much popular and the population is not that much, but we also have certain customs and traditions, right? Being from that community, we celebrate a festival every year in the month of January. Now, why I am telling you that, beta? In that month of January, we actually made this jowar ki roti, right? And then mix it with sugar, make it churi, and then eat it with spicy things like potato and all that. So that is a custom. Why I am telling you that, beta? Having a good diet, eat better, having something, or in our daily what we can say customs and traditions, having something that have high nutritious value is not something new, is not something dietitians are telling us. Rather, it is the part of our culture, rather it is part of our traditions too. Okay? And we as the youngsters need to know about that, and we should be proud of that. Like I've seen students running out from that cultures and traditions. No, you have to stay connected and learn more about them. That is the suggestion, and I know that now I'm making you feel bored, diverting you from the chapter, and ma'am, don't give the gyan. We are getting a lot of gyan at our home. Okay, so not giving you more, coming straight to the question. Jowar is the third most important food crop. हाँ भाई, it was written there. With respect to area and production, okay. Jowar cultivation thrives in which type of soil? Which type of soil? Now, soil was not given there, but one thing was given there, that it is grown mainly in moist areas. Now, will it be rich clay soil? Clay soil matlab, you know, black soil. ठीक है? Sandy soil, not at all possible. Deep black soil, not at all possible. So what comes as the correct answer? Well drained fertile alluvial soil, because jowar is grown in the areas, moist areas, okay, which are moist. That means have a good rainfall. Not I will call it as a high rainfall as that of paddy, but yes, good rainfall. Get it? Very good. Next question. Millet, despite being called coarse grain, offers what? What do they offer? Do they offer low nutritious value? Nahi bhai. High fiber content only. Up till here the statement was correct, but this only word makes a change, right? And it is being told in MCQs, always focus upon these additional keywords: only, all, total, etc. ठीक है? Excellent source of various essential nutrients. It seems to be correct. Primarily used for animal feeds. No. Right? So yes, C is the correct option. That is excellent source of various essential nutrients. Excellent source of what? Various essential nutrients. Okay. Now we have more food grains. So what we did today? Rice is done, wheat is done, millets is done. ठीक है? Moving towards maize, makka, corn, right? Every time rain comes, what our mouth craves for is those bhutta or the corn that is available at the roadside, at that tent wali shop, right? Applying nibu and salt on that, lemon and salt on that, by the way. So yes, everyone craves for that. You know that it is both the food as well as for the crop. Right? It is both food and fodder. What does it mean by food and fodder? Used by humans also, and for fodder. That means for feeding the animals too. Okay? It is a kharif crop, by the way. Beta, kharif crop again. Grown in which month, beta? After the rainfall and harvested before winter season. It requires the temperature between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. It requires what? The temperature between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius, grows in old alluvial soil. In Bihar, however, it is grown as a rabi crop. Right? In Bihar, it is grown as a rabi crop, and that have reasons like the soil remains moist at that time also. Okay? And They get the post-monsoon showers too. Major producing areas are Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So 5 points are listed here related to maize. What is maize, beta? It is used both as a food and fodder crop. It is again a kharif crop, require the temperature between 21 to 27 degree, grows in all alluvial soil. Bihar as an exception, and major producing states are listed here. Moving to pulses. Moving to an item without which a diet is not possible, or what we can say, food is not possible, impossible. Why everyone likes to eat that dal chawal or not? Okay? Everyone here in South India likes to eat sambar or not. And it can only be made with the help of these pulses, but by there are lot of pulses, different varieties of pulses grown in India. And here is the reason that India is the largest producer of pulses in the world. Okay? What do we have the tag for? Beta, we are the largest producer of pulses in the world, but strange part is that even we are the largest consumer too, because bhai bina dal chawal ke khana nahi hota. Isn't it? Right? So yes, India is largest producer as well as largest consumer of pulses in the world, and pulses are the major source of protein. Right? Have you noticed that when a child is small and start eating, what initially is given, that the water of dal, basically the pulses to the child. Why? Because it has high source of what it is? Protein. Okay? The major pulses are tur dal, that is arhar dal. But this is the big problem. To identify which dal is which. That means which is the which dal. Okay. Not making it too funny. Tur dal, arhar dal, which we usually eat. Then we have urad dal, moong, masoor. Masoor is this one, orange color wala, right? Peas and gram again comes in the category of pulses too. So yes, beta, there are major pulses. You can even add more in this list. Major I have written here to remember, that is tur, urad, moong, masoor, peas, gram. You can add in the list whatever you eat at your home. Okay? And the pulses are leguminous crops. Now this is important. This is very important to remember. What is leguminous crops basically? So when I started the session, I told you that beta, there is a natural cycle that regains the fertility in the soil. Natural cycle that regains what? The fertility in the soil, right? And here there is a process that is nitrogen fixation. So if any crops helps to facilitate that process of what? Process of nitrogen fixation, that crops are known as leguminous crops, or leguminous some people call it. Okay, major producing states are Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. So yes, this is also the food grain or food crop that are grain. Okay? Food crop that are grain. But before moving further, I would suggest you to have the revision of what we studied up till now. So we studied beta food crops that are basically majorly what? Grains of India. Majorly what? Grains of India. Whenever you cover such topics, I suggest you to make the charts like this. For example, the first one was rice. The first one here was rice. The next one here is beta wheat. Okay? After that we study millets. After that we studied what beta? Millets. And then there was maize. There is maize. And the last one is what? Pulses. The last one is pulses. Let us make a chart and remember the main points regarding them. Talking about rice, by rice, right? It is what? It's the staple crop of India. Okay? Staple crop of India. India is what? By second largest producer of rice in the world. Second largest producer of rice in the world. We need high temperature, high humidity, and high rainfall for the growth of this crop. By high temperature I mean 25 degrees Celsius, and rainfall I mean more than 100 centimeter. Okay? More than 100 centimeter. Yes, it is a kharif crop. Yes, it is what beta? Kharif crop. right? When I talk about the regions, you can write Punjab, we can write majorly North India, ठीक है, Northwest India, then area of Punjab, then we can write Haryana, okay, Haryana, and then Western Uttar Pradesh too, Western Uttar Pradesh too. This is all about what? Rice. Moving towards the next one, what is that? Wheat. Right? By wheat becomes the second important cereal crop of India. Second important what? Cereal crop of India, and it is a rabi crop. Okay? It is what, my dear students? A rabi crop. The temperature that is required to grow wheat is basically like moderate. It is like 21 to 21 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius around. Moderate humidity is required. Okay? And then moderate, what we can say, rainfall is also required to grow what, beta? Wheat. Right? The entire parts of northern India, grows what, beta? Wheat. Grows what, beta? Wheat. I'm just forgetting what are the other more features regarding that. So let's see if some of the point is missed here. Second most important, rabi. Acha, it requires cool growing seasons and bright sunshine at the time of ripening. It is very important point that we have to write. In this particular points. Okay, so what does it requires? It requires, beta, cool growing season. It requires cool growing season as well as what? Bright sunshine at the time of ripening. Bright sunshine at the type of ripening. The regions which are grown here is like Satluj belt, Ganga Satluj belt, and then some parts of northeast India too. Moving towards the next one, that is what, beta? Millets. Now, what are millets? They are coarse grains, right? They are coarse grain. What were the examples? The examples are jowar, ठीक है? Then example is bajra. Then the example is ragi. Individually, all about them, everything is mentioned. Then we will move towards maize. Right? When we move towards maize, maize is basically food and fodder crop in India. Okay? Food and fodder crop in India, grown mainly in which type of soil? Which have like moist type of soil, alluvial soil majorly. Right? What else regarding maize is given? Let's see. What else regarding maize is given? Yes, it is again a kharif crop, right? Yes, I forget this point. So it is a kharif crop. In Bihar, it is a rabi crop. However, these are the important pointers to be listed here. Okay? Which type of crop is it? Beta, kharif crop. Okay? However, in Bihar, there is an exception that it is a rabi crop. Now coming towards the last one, what is that? Pulses. If we talk about pulse, beta, India is the largest what? Largest producer as well as largest consumer of what, beta? Pulses in the world. Okay? There are different types of pulses that we consume every day. Tur, arhad, masoor, and a lot of them. Okay? Done? Very good. Moving towards the food crops other than grains. The food crops that are not grains actually. And what are they in the list? Okay, we will start with sugarcane. By India, sugarcane is very important type of crop. Right? You know that it is grown in tropical as well as in subtropical region, and India do have it. We have it. It is grown on hot, humid climate, temperature around 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. Annual rainfall between 75 centimeter to 100 centimeter. By wheat require 50 to 75. Rice requires like more than 100. Between that, what can be grown is sugarcane. Right? Between what, beta? 75 to 100. To remember that wheat around 50 to 75 centimeter, 50 to 75 centimeter, rice, beta, above 100 centimeter. So what comes in between? 50 to 75. And what is grown in that? That is sugarcane. That is sugarcane. And India is the second largest producer of sugarcane after Brazil. Here it is not China. Pay attention. Okay? India is second largest producer of what? Largest producer of what? Sugarcane after Brazil. Okay, now why are we eating so much of sugarcane? Beta, we are not directly consuming sugarcane. We are converting it into the form of sugar, gur, khand, sari or molasses. Right? You know that there are different cubicles in which you can find the sugar. Sugar basically we eat every day. Gur also you know. Khand sari is that small type of pieces of sugars. What is sugars? Sugar. And molasses is when you go to Hanuman Mandir, we get that white circle wala prasad na, that is molasses. ठीक है? Major producing states are UP. भाई UP is major producing state. Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar, Punjab and Haryana. See, major producing states are UP, Bihar. ठीक है? Punjab, Haryana and some parts of Uttar Pradesh too. But now, right, pay attention when you will learn the next chapter, you will get to know that by now the shift is seen. Right, shift is seen that in majority sugarcane production or sugarcane mills are moving towards South India. Why bhai? In the states like Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Telangana, the reason is that the sugarcane grown in this type of soil have high sucrose content, which helps to produce more quantity of sugar, gur, khand, sari, molasses and of good quality too. And hence, beta, what is happening? And hence, they are moving for the production towards where? Southern states. Okay, so one crop we learned, that is other than grains, that is sugarcane, moving towards oil seeds, right? Without which that oil is not possible. Right, that is lying as a layer in our sabji, in our vegetables. So you know that 2020, the data is related to 2020. India is the second largest producer of groundnut in the world. Second largest producer of what? Groundnut, right? Moongfali tel, if you have ever heard the groundnut oil. ठीक है? Major oil seeds in India are groundnut, then it is mustard, sesame, sunflower oil, soya bean oil, castor oil, olive oil, etc. ठीक है? Again, groundnut, mustard, sesame, sunflower, soya bean and castor. It is being said that soya bean tail is. Most of them are edible, ठीक है? And hence we use them as a cooking medium, right? To garnish the vegetable with a lot of oil and then regret later. After that, raw materials in soap, cosmetics and ointments. Too it is used. Fine. Groundnut oil is basically a kharif crop. See, cotton and groundnut are friends. ठीक है? Cotton and groundnuts are friends. Majorly grown in same type of climate, same type of what we can say soil. And both are kharif crops. Gujarat, see, black soil. Gujarat is the largest producer followed by Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. Then we have linseed and mustard, which is also a kharif crop. Sesame, again kharif in north and rabi in South India. Castor seeds, both rabi and kharif. It can be grown both seasons, that is kharif and rabi. Question can come in a way, which type of oil seed, which among the following oil seed is both a rabi as well as a kharif crop? Both a rabi as well as a kharif crop. Remember, it is castor seeds. It is what, beta? Castor seeds. Okay? So this is the information regarding the oil seeds. Then we have beverage crops in India. Again, beverage crops, tea and coffee. By the strange part is that before the Britishers came to India, there was no tea in India, and now India has become a land where the consumption of tea is maximum. Why people drink tea like that? What to do? Chai bana do, right? What do you want? Chai bana do. I have literally seen families drinking 6 to 7 cups of tea in a day. Don't you? It's not healthy, bhai. It is not at all healthy, right? It is actually addictive. Okay, coming to tea. So yes, it is a type of plantation cultivation when in a single farmland one single type of crop is grown. ठीक है? Both tea and coffee are the examples of plantation cultivation. This can be the heading or the introduction of the answer. Right? We are reading what, my dear student? Beverage crop. The first one here is tea, which is the example of a plantation cultivation. It is grown mainly in the tropical and subtropical climate. ठीक है, tropical and subtropical climate like sugarcane was. So when you read it and found that by this word came in the chapter in some place more, revise it. ठीक है, tropical and subtropical climate, deep and well drained soil, rich in humus and organic matter. Deep, well drained type of soil. That means yes, rainfall is required. Okay, it requires warm and moist free climate all through the year. So it should not be like that humidity is there all throughout the year. No, rainfall can be there, but all the time humidity, moist free, moist should not be there. It should be moist free. ठीक है, yes, it is a labor intensive industry. By once I was reading the method how we get the tea at our doorsteps. Beta, the process is very difficult. Okay, you know that it requires a lot of labor. Right straight from growing it, plucking a single leaf, identifying that by this leaf is destroyed or not, and if not, it is good seed, then it can be used further for different methods. It's plucking, drying, and lot more. You know that even during the time of Britishers, why Britishers were doing planting cultivation of tea in India? It started, see, China was the first country which actually grew tree. Right, excellently by a British official, they find the type of crop that is grown in India which can also be used as a tea, and then figure out that by Indian climate is very fit for growing tea. Right, as China and Britain, right, China and Britain relation get deteriorated, the eyes of Britishers were obviously on India to grow more crops, that is tea, one of them. You know that they were aware by that Indian peoples are so much hardworking and this labor intensive type of crop can be grown here. They brought so inhuman type of act. One was that Inland Immigration Act we studied in the chapter. Do you remember? It is nationalism in India. The people were brought from different regions to grow the crop that is tea, and they were not even allowed to move out of there. Not at all allowed to move out of there, and that was ridiculous. Okay? Coming back to it, this theory is not going to come from this chapter. So, tea, it is a type of plantation cultivation. Tropical and subtropical, it requires more moist free climate, but yes, well drained soil. It is labor intensive industry. Major tea producing states are Assam. Along with that, there is hills of Darjeeling, Jalpaiguri district, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And India is obviously second largest producer of tea after China, like we are in rice too. So after what, beta? China. Acha, in sugarcane, we are the second largest producer after which country? Comment down fast. Comment down fast. Let me check what you remember. Okay, next one. Next in the list of beverage crop we have is coffee. What do we have, beta? Coffee. So yes, Indian coffee is known as the best coffee in the world. You know that I was not actually the fan of coffee before coming to South India. Before actually coming to Bangalore. In South India, I have just been to Bangalore only. You know, I was a tea person. The proper North Indian behavior. Okay? Central Indian behavior. Okay? But when I had the filter coffee here, and I have become a fan of it. Literally fan of it. Right? There was one auntie here in our office that used to feed us that best coffee in the world. Okay? I hope that once I meet her again in the life and thank her for giving me the best coffee. Okay, so Indian coffee is considered to be as best coffee. The variety Arabica, right, that is brought from Yemen is grown here. So which type of variety is grown here? Arabica. We bought it from which country, bacha? Yemen. Okay? Initially it was just limited in the Baba Budan Hills, but it is now grown in the Nilgiri Pahari or hills of Karnataka, Kerala and then Tamil Nadu. However, the areas are not much in terms of growing, but yes, the value is because we grow the best type of coffee in the world. Okay? Clear? So what we learned up till now? Two types of beverage crop. Before that, what we learned, beta? Sugarcane. This is a food crop but not grains. Okay? I hope everything is clear. Very good. And now I know you are feeling like lot of things are done, beta. Ma'am, I am forgetting. Hold on, we will practice more questions. Identify the crops with the help of below information. This crop is major cash crop in India. Okay, cash crop is a type of crop which is solely grown in terms of profit. Okay, commercial type of. It is cultivated mainly in the states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And it is known for its aroma. What is that, bhai? Coffee, for obvious reasons. Next is horticulture type of crop. Okay? Questions related to this topic is less beta, but yes, it is a high weightage topic. Remember that. Now, as you can see in the picture, what is horticulture crops? The type of crops which we count as fruits, flowers, and yes, vegetables too. India is the largest producer of fruits, vegetables, and even flowers throughout the world after China. Why can't we cross this line, yaar? Right? Everything after China. Everything after China. So, India is largest producer of fruit, vegetables throughout the world after China. And there are certain features also, like mangoes particularly grown in Maharashtra. I don't know if you guys watched Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma or not, because now the generation, you people are not watching that serial, because when I was the child, even I watch it today also. So beta, there are a lot of episodes being made, because as they are showing a society in Mumbai, na, that one uncle of that Bide master belongs from Ratnagiri district, Ratnagiri place of Maharashtra, and they are popularly famous for the mangoes that are grown there. So yes, see, whenever we watch any dramas, like you people are for K-dramas type of children, but yeah, whenever we watch any series, whenever we watch any movies, analyze those small things related to our culture, our history, our geography. It helps a lot in studies. Okay? So yes, mangoes very popular from Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. Then there is a place famous for oranges, that is Nagpur. Okay? Famous for what, beta? Oranges of Nagpur, and even Cherrapunji is also famous. By the way, what else is Cherrapunji famous for? Comment down. Next is bananas of Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. By bananas obviously of Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. Lychee and guava of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Okay? Lychees and guava of what, beta? Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Why this lychee is so costly? When it comes initially, then the prices goes down. Then we have pineapples of Meghalaya. Okay, so any pineapple fan watching me right now? So pineapple is majorly famous from Meghalaya. Meghalaya should be your go-to place to eat this pineapples if you are literally a big fan of eating it. Grapes of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Maharashtra, apple, pears, apricot, walnuts, obviously apple. The people of Jammu also, the face also look like apple, reddish like apple. So yes, apple, pears, apricot, walnuts of Jammu Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. Right, here are the list of horticulture crops that are grown in India. One feature that we should never forget about horticulture crop is that India is the largest producer of fruits and vegetables throughout the world after China. We are what, beta? The largest producer of fruits and vegetables. Largest producer of what? Fruits and vegetables in the world after China. Right? Mangoes of Maharashtra. M for mangoes, M for Maharashtra. Oranges of Nagpur. Okay? Lychee and guava from Uttar Pradesh. Pineapple from Meghalaya. Grapes of Andhra Pradesh. And apple, walnut, apricots from Jammu and Himachal. I did not mention all the states, but yeah, I mentioned all the major states. Okay? Before moving to non-food crops, let's give ourselves a task, right? But first we covered what? The food crops, right? Food crops that are what? Grains. And what was in the list? In the list was wheat, in the list was rice, maize, okay? Then it was millet and then pulses. You might be thinking why we are repeating, but there are times when we learn one thing and forget another thing. But we should know that list. Now the task I am giving to you, now make the list for food crops food crops other than grains like we did earlier, right? I will name them and you will make the chart. Like first we started with what beta? Sugarcane. We started with sugarcane. The second which we learned here is a beverage crop, right? Beverage crop. And what was in the list of beverage crop? We have done tea, okay? We covered coffee, tea and coffee. The third one is beta horticulture crops, right? Horticulture crops, fruits, vegetable flowers, okay? Fruits, vegetable flowers. India is second largest producer after China, and some major list was done. This is how the chart will be prepared by you. Now coming towards the next topic, that is non-food crops, right? Beta, they are crops. We use it in different what we can say, things like industries, cosmetic industries and lot more thing. Okay, in our day-to-day uses, but they are not fit for like consumption, or they are not for edible uses. Get it? So they are known as what? Non-food crops. The list will be like that: rubber, silk, cotton, etc. And we are going to start it with the first major crop, that is a rubber crop. Okay. So the next non-food crop, that is rubber, grows in equatorial crop region. Equatorial crop. It is the equatorial crop and grows in equatorial region. Now again, you know that equatorial region means that is near to the equator, right? So Andaman and Nicobar close to equator, the southern part of India close to equator, but under some conditions it can be grown in tropical and subtropical region too. Okay? In some conditions it can be grown. Moist humid climate is required, rainfall even more than 200 centimeters. So beta, we know that the southern part of India is the first place which receives the rain shower, as well as also the place which receives the boundaries are the places which receives the maximum rainfall too, right? Left of Western Ghats, etc. So beta, moist climate is required, rainfall by. If I give you a question that whatever crops we have learned in today's session, right? Tell me the crop which actually was the one among them which requires the highest amount of rainfall, then you will write rubber. Right? And the temperature, obviously by equatorial region, temperature will also be high, and it is around 25 degrees Celsius. Right? Beta, when we talk about the uses of rubber, it is majorly used in industrial areas. A lot of items are made by rubber. I want from your side, beta, what are the products made on rubber? The uses of rubber. I have just given you the industrial material here. I want to know from the students how much they are aware about the use of rubber. Okay? So now coming towards the region where it is grown for, obviously by tropical region, high temperature, very high rainfall, Kerala will be the one, right? Tamil Nadu will be the one, right? Why we are not moving to northeastern state? Because that is not the it is not the equatorial region. However, they said that in some conditions it can be grown, but first of all, beta, the regions will be Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andaman and Nicobar and Garo Hills of Meghalaya. Why Garo Hills of Meghalaya? Because of the high rainfall. Because of what? High rainfall. So here we started with the very first non-food crop, that is rubber, grown in equatorial region, sometimes in tropical, subtropical, very high rainfall, 200 centimeters, temperature 25 degrees Celsius, okay? And used for industrial crops. Next is cotton. My next is what? Cotton. But the category here is fiber crops. Now we are going to learn about which type of crops, beta? All type of fiber crops, where we will start with cotton, jute, hemp and then silk. Okay? Cotton, jute, hemp and silk. You studied in the chapter Resource and Development, cotton is grown in which type of soil? Black soil of India. Right? And you know that India is being the original homeland of cotton. Yes. Right? I don't know you studied about Sindhu Saraswati civilization, Indus Valley civilization very deeply or not, but we have found there a seal. You know, the figures were made on the seal. Why I'm talking about this? Because India is the country which found the earliest evidence of growing cotton in the world. ठीक है. In that Indus Valley civilization seal na beta, a man is like priest type of figure. Don't know where the person was priest or not, but yes, a person sitting in the yogic posture has been made, right, and wearing a shawl over one shoulder. So according to the evidence found, right, fossils found from that time, we figured out that it was cotton cloth, the piece of cotton cloth, and hence here India becomes the original homeland for the cotton plant in the world. Okay? However, the second largest producer after China, again came the same point. So second largest producer after what, beta? China. Grows well in drier parts of black soil in Deccan Plateau. Bhaiya, black soil, cotton. I don't know what relation they have. So whenever the black soil, I know the relation they have, but I want to tell you that whenever black soil, cotton, black soil. Remember that correlation. Okay? See, now analyze the type of temperature we have in Maharashtra. Obviously high temperature, high rainfall, and 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine for its growth is required in cotton. Beta, see, it is grown particularly, it is a kharif crop, okay? It is a kharif crop, but you know that all the time in the rainy season is not that we don't get sunshine, we get it, and particularly in the Maharashtra region, beta, the hot days are there during this time, and hence it requires high temperature, light rainfall, and 210 frost-free days. This is the keyword here. Question will directly come. Which among the following crop require 210 frost-free days? Cotton is the answer. Okay? It is a kharif crop. Major cotton growing or producing states will be Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Majorly it's Haryana, then some parts of Malwa region in Madhya Pradesh, Saurashtra in Gujarat wala part, and more like that. Okay? So again, let's revise what we are learning. We are learning the fiber crops. We started with cotton, original, India is the original homeland for it. We are the second producer of cotton in the world after China. We require what, beta? Drier region, black soil, climatic conditions like high temperature, light rainfall, 200 frost-free days, as well as bright sunshine for its growth. It is a kharif crop. The producing areas are here. I think that 6 points are enough for getting how many marks? 5 marks from this question. Next is jute. By jute, story is interesting. However, nowadays we are shifting or replacing the products of jute from natural fibers to artificial synthetics, right? However, jute, beta, is also known as golden fiber. It is known as what, beta? Golden fiber, because of its texture, because of its use all throughout the times, right? It is known as what? Golden fiber. It grows well in drained fertile soil. Drained clearly indicates that it needs moist atmosphere or high rainfall. Okay? High rainfall is only possible wherever there is high temperature. Beta, this jute is basically a type of crop that actually requires some around 100 to 150 centimeters of rainfall. Okay? 100 to 150 centimeters of rainfall, right? If you are not getting the use of it, beta, it is used as gunny bags, right? I don't know from which region you belong to. If you are from very high urban areas, we see very less use of gunny bags right now. But beta, what happened, that brown color ke bori, usually it is known as bori bags, basically that is made up of this jute. You know that the mates, right, the door mates and the rugs, the ropes, yes, the old houses still have what? The ropes made up of jute, and the clothes are dried on it. Yarn, carpets, and other artifacts too. So yes, jute is a very, very important product in Indian society, Indian market, and it has multiple uses. As it is natural, it is even good for environment too. one thing I want to tell you beta, the largest producer, ठीक है, the largest producer of jute in India is West Bengal. The largest producer of jute in India was beta West Bengal. अच्छा, what happens na? So by this is Bengal. What I am saying, Bengal, not West, not East. I am just saying it West Bengal. So beta, what happened if you remember in 1905, ठीक है? In 1905 it was Lord Curzon. Okay, some history came in geography, but yeah. So it was Lord Curzon who divided Bengal into two parts, named this one as West Bengal, ठीक है, and named this one as East Bengal, named this one as West Bengal and this one as East Bengal. But now the point is, my dear students, like you know that West Bengal is basically the largest producer in India, but we are not the largest exporter. ठीक है, we are not the largest exporter. Why? Because in the world right now, the largest exporter of jute is basically which country at number one? It is Bangladesh at number one, right? Bangladesh at number one. It is Bangladesh at number one, and number two it is India. And why it is India? Because majorly in West Bengal area jute is being produced, ठीक है, but we are not the exporter. Why? अच्छा, let me tell you beta what happened, that this part came with India and this part, that is East Bengal, first of all became the part of Pakistan, ठीक है, became the part of Pakistan. Then after there was war in which India supported, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had a role in it. After that it came to be known as Bangladesh. So can you understand beta, the geography of this region is actually same, right? This region is the region which receives high rainfall, ठीक है, which receives high rainfall, as it is even close to the tropics, have high temperature, and all the suitable conditions for the growth of jute in India, ठीक है, and hence beta West Bengal major part went with Bangladesh, and hence we are just remaining the largest producer but not the largest exporter in the world. Done. Chalo, next here. So based on the leading producers of jute in the world, the maximum number of jute industries are likely to be located on the bank of which of the following rivers or its tributaries? Very, very good question. So is it Brahmaputra, Yamuna, Yangtze or Gangas? So beta, based on the leading producer of jute, ठीक है, भाई Yangtze जो है, that is in China first of all, ठीक है, Yamuna is not reaching to the region of West Bengal, but the confusion will lie between Ganga and Brahmaputra. Beta, so along with West Bengal, there are states like Assam. ठीक है, there are states like Meghalaya. So can you see the proportion of which river will be more? Brahmaputra, as Brahmaputra is, see, Brahmaputra rises from Tibet. ठीक है, I'll just draw and like make this clear to you. Okay, so something similar to that, ठीक है. Now what happens beta? Okay, consider this as a rough map. So what happens, somewhere from here the Brahmaputra river rises up, starts moving parallel to the Himalayas, then with the help of a deep gorge, that means a twist in the Himalayas, it enters the northeastern region. So Assam, Meghalaya, high rainfall is like high water irrigation is provided by this river, and then it like moves to West Bengal, right, merges with Ganga. So yes, Bangladesh I am saying, Brahmaputra river is the major reason, Brahmaputra river, so which facilitates the growth of or crop jute in India is Brahmaputra river, ठीक है, we are leading producer because of this river. Great. We have more questions now. Which of the following items are manufactured in an agro-based industries? Beta, if you're not aware about that, agro-based industries are the industries in which, right, in which the raw material of that industry comes from, beta, agriculture. Comes directly from which sector? Agriculture sector, like shoes, ठीक है, suits, mobile, cooker, ointments. So we are very much aware that ointments basically are made up of oil seeds, ठीक है. So yes, tea is very much there, right? T is very much there. So the only option which contain T is S and T. Arey bhai, but cooker cannot be. Arey problem hai. Problem hai. There is some problem in this question. Wait, let me check. See, mobile is for obvious reasons not here. So R nahi hai, R nahi hai. P and Q, shoes. Shoes can come from cotton shoes हो सकते हैं ना. ठीक है. And Q is what? Suits. अच्छा, clothes. Fine. My bad, beta. Clothes are particularly. ठीक है. So P and Q is the correct answer. S and T is not there. Why? Because it includes the option S, that is cooker, and cooker cannot come from a raw material from agriculture. My bad. I just not saw that S. ठीक है. Getting my point? So it is P and Q as the correct answer. See, this is how it can be made tricky. And finally, we are moving towards the last topic of this chapter, that is technological and institutional reforms. By write it in your copy that this is a sure short question. Right? Write it in your copy. This is a short question. You can pick any of the previous year question and see and make me wrong. Okay? It is a short question for how many marks? For 5 marks. Okay? And the question is, what are the technological and institutional reforms introduced by the government to make agriculture sector profitable or to grow agriculture sector in the world? Okay? Now what is the question again, right? What are the technological and institutional reforms introduced by the government? Okay, beta? Achha, before moving to that, yaar, I forget to tell you one thing. I just forget to introduce one thing. If you want to access these notes, right? If you want to access these notes, beta, you can go directly. Where? You can go directly at the platform of Vedantu. Right? What you have to do is to reach here, beta. So this is our YouTube channel, right? This is the YouTube channel. Every video, right, below every video, like I am telling you as an example, as this is the example of class 9, just take it as an example, right? If you click this video, I started speaking to read it. Get it? Okay. Get it, students, get it. Okay, beta, below this video na, you will find certain links. As you are in class 10th and want my notes from where you are studying, you will join the free class 10th CBSE course. It is totally free, but the notes are provided to you here only. Once you click that, na, the window like this will open, where you are introduced with the teachers and the features of these courses. The features of these courses are, beta, you can even book a free demo of how the teachers teach you. You can buy it, which covers the subject like English, social science, science and mathematics. Right? Classes by the teachers, which we are. Classes by the master teachers, actually, which we are. Discussions of previous year question paper involved, study material, handwritten teachers' notes which you are seeking for. Right? All the notes will be provided to you, even the recordings of previous videos in a single place. Beta, all the time you come and search on YouTube and you're not able to figure out where the video is, you just comment, and in the hope of that I will revert back to the comment. You people just stay there. But I would suggest you, on this platform, beta, you can directly go, search the video and watch it without any interruption, without any distraction. Batches schedule and syllabus is also here. So like the next batch is going to come soon. Like we are talking about English. So you know that the schedule for this month will be provided like that. From class like 3rd to 9th of August, on Monday, it was 3rd. Ma'am taught you stories about flying. Then Tiger in the Zoo on 8th of September. It is not only English, beta. We have syllabus for this also. See, this is the syllabus for your entire year, and this is the schedule. Right? From 3rd to 9th of August, I will come live on 4th. I will come live on 6th. Right? Where I am teaching you chapters like Rise of Nationalism in Europe, Master Geography for class 10. So, beta, everything, the schedule, the syllabus, the recorded videos, you will get from here. Achha, once you buy this batch, na, the layout will be like this. Your courses, my courses. When I click to class 9th wala course, lot of things are there. Okay? So here it is class CBSE class 10th SST. Okay? When you click it here, beta, now what will happen? Okay, here are the classes. Yes, this is what I wanted. Beta, power sharing class 10th when I first went live for your class. ठीक है? Nationalism in Europe class 10th. Again, NCERT solutions in English. Resource and development. Rise of nationalism in Europe, important MCQs. Development class 10th, most important MCQs. Nationalism in India class 10th, most important questions. Bhaiya, this is a repository. This is not the single thing. This is a repository. Water resource SST one shot class slides. If you go, you can even download this for free. Here is download. Download in like for free all the notes which are required to you. Getting my point? This is how beta you can get the notes for the video you're watching right now, and even for more things, like even beta, not only this, here we added one more section. Arey, go back bhai, go back. Acha, he will not go back. I have to go like this. Now we will go back. ठीक है. Now we will go back. Arey, go back bhai. Yes. So here is one more section, that is my test. Right? My test, beta. Development chapter. Now you can see the test over here. More tests will be added by me here in the list so that you can access as much as required. Okay? As much as required. Getting my point? Okay, great. So moving back to the chapter, what we were studying is agriculture, and the last topic of agriculture is technological and institutional reforms. What, my dear students? Technological and institutional reforms. So the first thing, beta, India became independent in 1947 after being under colonial rule for 200 years. The revenue policy of colonial rulers were made in such a way that the land was like remaining in some hands of some people of India. However, it was taken from the original, what we can say, owners, the farmers. ठीक है? They were zamindars, middle class people, like middle people. They were zamindars, they were landlords who actually owed a large amount of land because of that policies of Britishers, and hence there was collectivization, right? Consolidation, which needs to be ended here. So, abolition of zamindari system. All these points were given priority after independence to make land access like not equally but equitably among the people. ठीक है? There were land reforms introduced, beta. So every year, like after every for every 5 year, for the development of Indian economy, beta, 5-year plans were made for India. You know that in the first 5-year plan, there was one target to bring those land reforms that includes what? That includes providing land to even the farmers, okay, the poor people, from whom the land is taken and consolidated in the hands of zamindar. So abolition of that zamindari system, and a lot more reforms were required. Okay? Along with that, in the year like particularly 1970s, India introduced this green revolution. Right? What is green revolution? The revolution to increase the production of what? Food grains, particularly wheat and rice. Then there was white revolution to increase the production of milk in India. Beta, these were given priorities and strategies were made to increase agriculture of India, and after that only bhai we boosted in terms of food grains. Okay? These were the initial efforts. Now moving to next one, like provision of crop insurance for drought, flood, cyclone, fire and disease are given. Like beta, we have health insurance and life insurance. Like if something happens to us, then the amount will be provided. Similarly, it's like story of India. India being monsoonal type of climate, it is quite difficult to predict the cycle of monsoon every year or the impact of monsoon every year, and hence a lot of times that crops fail due to drought, right? Crops fail due to excessive water like flood, due to fire and many things. Now, is this the mistake of the farmer? No, but who will bear it? Farmer. And hence, beta, there was lot of farmer suicide because of this failure of crops in India. Lot of what we can say provisions were introduced to safeguard farmers from these situations, and one among them is to provide the crop insurance. Yes, those crops are also insured that in case they get failed due to the natural disasters, amount will be provided to the farmers by the government. We have more like establishment of Grameen Bank. By this bank is only and only limited for farmers. Grameen Bank in rural areas. ठीक है, where loans are provided at very low interest rate. We have more like Kisan Credit Card, KCC, popularly it is known as credit card for Kisan farmers. PAIS, Personal Accident Insurance Scheme. By during the time farming is being done, it's quite risky, right? Lot of times by something happened to the farmers while working, because tools and implements are to be used. So, personal accident insurance scheme is also provided. Special weather bulletins and agriculture programs for farmer. You might have seen that ads running in the TV when a farmer is sitting in a farm and he is getting like information from the cell phone that by this year you have to use this pesticide because pest attack can be there, and more information like, you know, that's very fascinating that those farmers are being helped with weather bulletins, agriculture programs and a lot more things. ठीक है, last but not the least that the government announced MSP, minimum support price, something we studied in class 9, MSP, minimum support price. What is MSP? Beta, this is the pre-decided, or what we can say pre-declared, right? Pre-declared minimum price. ठीक है, pre-declared minimum price of a crop that will be given by government to the farmer, and in exchange farmer will sell the crop directly to the government. Now government take the responsibility to sell it further. Right now you might be thinking, ma'am, in this profit is of government. No, government will sell it in like high prices because government is giving them minimum price. Beta, it is safeguard in case crops are very bad quality, crops failed, etc, the farmer need to bear this. Here in this, farmer is tension free that at least this much amount is going to be provided to me. However, there are a lot of negatives too of this policy, but in this chapter that is not given. Okay, there will be time when we will read it thoroughly. Okay, so here we end the last topic of this chapter, and what is that? Technological and institutional reforms. I request all the students to learn at least 6 to 7 points from this topic, because this is one of the short question from this chapter. Right? If the student will ask me anytime, ma'am, from agriculture, which is the first question I should learn, I will give that one. Okay? The second I will tell about what are the write the features of the two major crops of India. Get it? Okay, great. Moving to some MCQs. The government of India has introduced schemes like Kisan Credit Card and promoted the establishment of Grameen banks and cooperative societies to provide loans to the farmers at low interest rate. What major problem in Indian agriculture is this policy aimed at solving? Why do we do that? By what it is aiming to solve? Okay. Option A, the fragmentation of land holdings due to right of inheritance. No, by the heavy dependence of farmers on the monsoon of irrigation. Okay, let's think about it. The problem of farmer indebtedness and their dependence on informal credit sources like money lenders. Okay. The low productivity of land due to no. Okay. So yes, C is the correct answer for this question. Very good. Now the favorite part of mine, but it is not the favorite part of yours, which I am pretty sure about. And what is that, my dear students? Yes, it is homework questions. Okay. See, I added how many homework questions? I guess it is only this much. Yes, just 8 homework questions. Beta, trust me, right? Have a trust on me, as if you have reached to this part of the video. Okay? I believe that somewhere you enjoyed learning, right? And if you enjoyed learning, I want a promise from your side. And what is that promise? Yes, ma'am, we are going to solve all the homework questions. Okay? What is that promise? Say it again. Yes, ma'am, we are going to solve all the homework questions. Beta, in every video of mine, whatever you watch as one shot, you will see that it is in the same pattern. We completely deal with the NCERT theory. Then we do what? Then we do multiple MCQs, where MCQs are even picked from PYQs also. Now come the homework question. By I am putting a lot of effort, I want the effort from your side also. 8 questions, if you just do 2 questions a day, okay? If you just do beta solve how many questions a day? 2 questions a day na, in the 4 days upcoming, right? Where your theory is completed, your revision can be completed, your solving of questions will be completed, and all those are the important questions, by the way. All those are what beta? The important questions that we have to understand. Okay? I'm going to tell you what the points you can write so that there will be even a revision for the entire chapter 2. Then you can practice this. Don't worry, don't go anywhere. We will even revise everything what we studied today. Closing the book, recalling method. By using which method beta? Recalling method. Starting with the first question. Plantation agriculture is also a type of commercial farming. Support the statement with the help of suitable example. Okay? So the question says that the commercial farming, okay? It is, commercial farming. What is an example of commercial farming? Plantation. Okay? Explain it with the suitable example. So beta, in the plantation, first you have to tell the introduction that in the plantation farming, only single type of crop is grown. Right? Only single type of crop is grown in large area. Single type of crop is grown where? In the large area. Okay? First is this. Now, second we will tell that by plantation cropping is done for commercial purpose, right? What do you mean by commercial purpose? Commercial purpose is to earn profit and not for subsistence okay? And hence, yes, we can call that plantation farming is a type of commercial farming. Here even you can write the examples too, like for example, what is the examples by the way? Beta, the examples are tea and coffee. Tea and coffee. And this can be your answer number 1 of the day. Get it? Chalo, great. Let's move to the second question. What is the second question? Examine the measures taken by government to make agriculture more profitable in India. Achha, by the way, question number 2 and question number 3 I have repeated by intentions. Read it. It can come in different formats. Like, the government of India has invited some suggestions for institutional reforms in agriculture. Propose any 5 institutional reforms made by the government to make agriculture profitable in India. To make what? Agriculture profitable in India. So here we are writing for answer 2 and 3. Right? What is the answer? Technological and technological and institutional reforms. Technological and institutional reforms made by the government of India to make agriculture more profitable. The first point here will be, right, beta, land reforms. Okay? Land reforms that was introduced as the part of first 5-year plan. Okay? First 5-year plan. Yes, this is one. Then we can write about abolition of zamindari system. Okay, fine. Abolition of what, bacha? Zamindari system. Right, fine. Abolition of zamindari system. Now, one more point is about introduction of, right? What? Introduction of revolutions like green revolution. अरे भाई कुछ याद है कि नहीं? Everything went skyrocket. So green revolution and white revolution, bhai, we have to recall after reading every topic, you know, otherwise everything will be like wastage. Okay, land reforms, abolition of zamindari system, then introduction of green revolution and white revolution. We have more reforms like crop insurance, okay? The provision of crop insurance in the time whenever there is a natural disaster and the crops are failed. ठीक है, crop insurance beta. After that I'm just writing the keywords. By the way, you have to frame the statement. Then there is Grameen banks for the farmers to provide loans at low interest rate. Then there are certain features like KCC, Kisan Credit Card, and the schemes like PAIS, Personal Accident Insurance Scheme. We have more like weather bulletins, right? Weather bulletins which keep like farmers informed about the weather and climatic conditions, and that's it. Like that, this will be more than enough. So done with question number 2 and question number 3 also. ठीक है? Okay, describe 3 geographical conditions required for the cultivation of rice in India. Fine. And write the names of 2 leading producing states in India. Okay, very good question. Very good question. By the way, I am only solving it for you. I want you to write in this way only. So, the question number 4 is asking to us 2 different questions. First we have to tell the geographical conditions. ठीक है, geographical conditions. How many points did they ask? They point 3. They asked 3 points. And the major states producing what? The question is about rice, that is paddy. ठीक है? So first of all, beta, it is a what? Which type of crop? It is a kharif crop. First of all, it is the kharif crop, right, which is grown during the time of, right, grown during the time of rainy season, ठीक है, rainy season, and harvested when? Harvested in the month of October. Okay. Now, as it is a kharif crop, it requires what, beta? It requires high temperature. It requires high temperature. Also high humidity. ठीक है, high temperature and high humidity. Along with that, it also requires high rainfall. अच्छा, how much is the rainfall required for the growth of rice? It is more than, ठीक है, more than 100 centimeters. Getting my point? More than 100 centimeters. But it also requires well-drained fertile soil. Yes, it requires well-drained fertile. The states, okay, very much clear. West Bengal, right? Odisha, ठीक है. Along with that, we have major producers in India after the introduction of Green Revolution, that is Punjab, Haryana, and Western Uttar Pradesh. So these are the states where rice is grown majorly. Okay, moving towards the next question. So it is question number 4 done by us. Okay, describe the features of cropping patterns in India. This you have to do. We have 3 cropping patterns, beta. Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid. ठीक है? All the features will include when it is grown, when it is harvested, what are the crops grown. 2 points from each of them can give you how many marks? 5 marks for sure. Okay, write the characteristics of millets in India. First of all, tell what millets are. Jowar, bajra, ragi. ठीक है? They are highly nutritious, coarse grain. They contains high nutrition, roughage, and many more things like that. ठीक है? Even give one statement regarding jowar, bajra, ragi too. So this is how you can write it. Analyze the difference between primitive and intensive. Why? This is the first question of the session that I told you that it is going to come. ठीक है? So primitive based upon old tools, and the fertility of the soil comes naturally. It depends upon the natural factors like rainfall and all. However, in intensive, the population pressure increases, and we start using what? Biochemicals too. ठीक है? The last question is, why is agriculture called? What is called? Why is agriculture called the backbone of Indian economy? Please explain. So yes, this itself is a very important and often asked question. Why agriculture? Beta, agriculture is a primary activity. ठीक है? Primary activity, and this activity actually. So first of all, why agriculture? We will solve this question. I want to solve this question. Okay. So answer is answer number 8. ठीक है? Why agriculture is known as backbone of Indian economy. Backbone of Indian economy because ठीक है, Indian economy because of what, right? The first thing is that beta 2/3 of India's population, 2/3 of India's population, right, depends upon what beta, depends upon agriculture. For what बच्चा? Agriculture for employment, ठीक है, for employment. That is the first point, right? You know that the second point is because India is an agriculture dominant nation. Krashi Pradhan in Hindi it is known as. However, it is agriculture dominant nation, right? The third point is beta, it provides, अरे भाई, it provides what? It provides raw materials, right? It provides raw material for various, ठीक है, for various economic activities, right? So it promotes industries, food industries, and lot of things also. So I just added 3 points. You can add more. Make it an answer for a 5-marker question. I need 2 points to be added by you. Get it? And this is how we solve the last question of this entire chapter. Now coming towards the final revision, actually what is important from this chapter? ठीक है, what is important from this chapter, or let us revise what we have studied up till now. Consider that this is the 1-page short notes of the chapter, ठीक है. So the chapter starts with introduction of how agriculture is important to us, right, to the world too. Coming towards the first point, data types of farming. What was the first point? Types of farming. Okay, there are how many types of farming? 3. It is primitive subsistence. Primitive matlab old, subsistence matlab for self consumption, so it depends upon old tools. How? Dough, digging sticks, etc. Based upon natural cycle, one example is slash and burn. ठीक है? Then we have intensive subsistence. Then we have बच्चा what? Intensive subsistence. Why I am doing it right now? Because this should be your habit. Once you end the chapter, write on a single page what are the important points and what you have to remember from this chapter, right? And the last one, that is commercial farming. That is commercial farming. By the way, plantation is also the example of commercial farming. The next topic that we studied in this chapter was beta cropping patterns or cropping seasons, right? Cropping patterns. What we have to remember in cropping patterns, there are 3 in number: Kharif, Rabi, ठीक है, then it is Zaid. So what you have to point out here is when the crop is sown, ठीक है, when the crop is harvested, right, as well as the example of each, ठीक है, the example of let's take this one. So when is kharif crop grown? Beta, on the onset of rainy season. So I will just write here what the month. So it is grown in June, harvested in October. One famous example is paddy. Along with that beta cotton, groundnut too, ठीक है. Then rabi crop is grown in October November वाला month, sown in April, ठीक है. Wheat and barley are the 2 popular examples of them. Then we have Zaid. Zaid is grown between month like April to June, ठीक है. Example can be watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, etc. So this is something we started the chapter with, right? Some basic and easy topics. But after that, ठीक है, after that we moved to some more topics like the food grains. Okay, what we studied was beta the food crops. Let's give the heading at major crops, ठीक है, major crops. Okay, we categorize the major crops as food crops that are basically grains. Okay, that are basically what beta? Grains. The next was food crops. Okay, it is only food crops but that are not grains. That are what, my dear students? Not grains. This is what we studied. Then we also learned about horticulture crops. Okay, and we also learned about beta fiber crops. ठीक है, fiber crops. अच्छा, in the list of fiber crops one was missed, that is hemp. That is basically used either for medicinal pharma purposes or for addiction type of purposes. ठीक है, it is a plant. Okay, so what all we learned in this category of food crops grown by? सबसे पहले rice, staple food of India. India is the second largest producer. It is a kharif crop. High rainfall is required in the states. Then what we learned? Wheat is a rabi crop by northern India. It is being grown largely. It requires the rainfall between 50 to 75 centimeters. Then we learned about millets. Yes, jowar, bajra, ragi. ठीक है, maize, food and fodder crop both. And then about pulses. Pulses is the example of leguminous crops. Pulses like urad, arhar, masoor, etc. ठीक है. Food crops that are not bacha, what? Grains like sugar cane, right? Sugar cane is grown in tropical and subtropical type of climate, majorly grown in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, etc. Right? Do you remember that? The rainfall required is from 75 to 100 centimeters. Okay, along with that we learned about tea and coffee. So tea that is grown in tropical, subtropical region, majorly in hills with large lands, growing single crop. Okay, well drained soil is required. We talk about coffee, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. Okay, which type of coffee beta? Coffee Arabica. Arabica coffee comes from which country? Comment down. Horticulture crops, yes. So horticulture crops, so it was fruits. Okay, then vegetables, okay, like apple, apricot and walnut from Jammu Kashmir. Mangoes from Maharashtra, oranges from Nagpur, lychee and guava from Uttar Pradesh. So this is the way we have to revise it thoroughly. Okay? Then comes the fiber crops. In this we learned about cotton, we learned about jute. Okay? We have informations regarding the silk and hemp too. So hemp, again I just told you, silk beta. If you are wondered about how, so like I will tell you the example of mulberry silk. Mulberry silk is named after the plant mulberry, over which silkworm lives. So you might be thinking, na, ma'am, how it is related with crop beta? That plant is mulberry over which that silkworm lives, and through which it is being extracted. And this is all about the chapter. I think now no need to go anywhere. It includes MCQs, PYQs, revision, homework questions, lot of practice things, and a well explained chapter too. So your SST faculty Tanvi, and we are on the platform Diksha Vedantu, and I know that beta you guys are enjoying learning, and if not, please tell me that also. One more thing, if you require anything for your class 10, I was getting comments that ma'am, you're not bringing the lectures for class 10. Beta, equal lectures as for class 9th and class 10th is brought on the channel. Okay? All the lectures will be brought to you for class 10th also. Equally how class 9th is important for us, class 10th is also important for us. Don't worry about anything. In case you feel any problem related to SST, comment box is always open and I will be the one replying you first. Okay, bye-bye, take care, work hard, all the best for your board exams, and don't forget your SST teacher. Bye-bye, take care.